Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video I'm gonna be reading through the new patch notes for patch 4.2b. Patch 4.2b got released already, by the way. It got released like 30 minutes ago or one hour ago. So these are the changes that are in the game right now. So it's gonna be very important for you to, see what the changes are. I don't know what the changes are. I haven't seen any of this yet, so let's go through it. Welcome to the latest balance patch of the Playham patch. We're making some more adjustments to marksman, okay, which is ADCs, and a few other champions to balance out the meta and grooving to the beat with the arrival of Space Groove skins. Welcome to the latest patch, blah 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 blah. We think next time will be a joyful meetup, so we'll see you back here for patch 4.3. Oh, so they're kind of teasing. Oh, because 4.3 is gonna have like this new crazy game mode that's coming out for Wild Rift. We'll see. But yes, reminder content will be released throughout the patch. Let's see, champion changes, Aatrox. I heard someone told me Aatrox is getting like a massive buff, so let's see. Aatrox struggled to find his footing last patch and his blade is not cutting as deep as expected. We want to make sure that when the Darkened Blade is unleashed, which is his ultimate, no, he is a Darkened Blade and his ultimate's called World Under, is unleashed in all its grand and terrifying glory, that it strikes a deeper chord of dread in the hearts of foes. So we're making adjustments to his damage, his ultimate basically. His ultimate will give you 10% more attack damage, which is actually pretty crazy if you ask me. Because more attack damage means more healing as well. Like it automatically buffs everything from Aatrox. And if you can reset his ultimate, he's gonna have this bonus AD for a longer time. I mean, I don't think this was necessary. Not gonna lie to you guys. I don't think this was necessary, but we'll see. We'll see how good he's really gonna be. Next up is Ashe. Let's see what's happening to Ashe. Our favorite Frosty marksman has been frostbitten and stuck as a Baron laner or support. Baron laner, really? We're honing her arrows and making some adjustments. I would assume she's getting buffed, by the way. Making some adjustments to her so that she can better fulfill her role as the chilling harbinger of damage in the dragon lane. So let's see. Frost shot. Non-critical slow is gonna be reduced. So her slowing when she doesn't crit is gonna be reduced on basic attacks. Okay, that's a pretty substantial nerf, not gonna lie. Her second ability is gonna have a longer cooldown and much longer in the late game, by the way. But it does 15% more attack damage. This is a nerf. This is double nerf. Her ultimate is gonna have a longer cooldown early game. And it doesn't scale with ability power as much anymore. Why is Ashe getting such a nerf? I mean, Ashe is already like completely useless. What the hell is going on? Like, what? Why is she getting such a nerf? Like, she's already so weak. How does this make any sense? I don't get it. Like, what? Did I miss something? Non-critical slow. Nerfed. Yes. Second ability. Nerfed. Only a little bit extra damage. Ultimate nerfed as well. Alright. Next up we have Camille. I think Camille will get buffed because she is just kind of weak, not gonna lie. We're boosting Camille's jungle clearing. We're boosting Camille's jungle clearing pace in the early stages of the game to allow her more time to overshadow her laning opponents. Damage ratio to monsters with her second ability from 50% to 80%. So it's better AoE jungle clear basically. Also, it's just overall a little bit better jungle clear. This is not gonna be like super significant, but it's still quite decent. You know why? Because Camille's second ability actually does a lot of damage. Like, it does a lot of flat damage to jungle camps. So having it buffed by 30% is going to be quite substantial in the jungle. Draven 100% getting a buff because Draven is so useless. 100%. Draven's early game damage was over the top. What? Draven's early game damage was over the top? Really? Even outshining some of our... Oh, because Baron lane Draven. People were playing Baron lane Draven and they were kind of abusing it because like Baron lane Draven was incredibly powerful. Yeah. So they're adjusting his attack damage while still ensuring that his axes keep their edge in teamfights. So early game you'll have 4 less attack damage, which is definitely significant, by the way. Because remember, your first ability scales with attack damage as well. So you're gonna do less damage overall. You're gonna do like 10% less damage overall, which is pretty crazy. Like, it's actually a pretty big buff when you use your axes. But attack damage per level is gonna be buffed by 0.5. So at the end of the day, you will have 7.5 extra attack damage. Reduce it by 4, which is the net value that you have extra at level 15 is 3.5 attack damage. Which means this is overall a pretty big nerf to Draven, which is pretty sad if you ask me. Like, I don't know, this is pretty sad. I really thought Draven would get buffed because I find him to be useless. Fiora is probably getting a buff. Even though you may think Fiora is good, I think Fiora kind of sucks. Because even though Fiora can be super ahead, in teamfights she feels so weak. Maybe they're gonna buff the range of her first ability again or something like that. Let's see what they actually do. We're sharpening Fiora, the Grand Duelist's fencing finesse, so that she can display speedier swordplay in duels. Yeah, exactly. She takes versus her foes. Her first ability is gonna be on a lower cooldown. Okay. And cooldown return on skill hit goes from 60% to 50%. So you get less cooldown returned when you hit the skill, but at the end of the day, you will get more back because the actual cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds, which is actually quite huge if you ask me. This allows you to play Fiora without a Manamune. Actually, doesn't this make Manamune Fiora even better? Because you can spam your first ability even more. I have to test out Fiora builds. And see what works the best right now. Fizz is probably getting a buff. He feels so weak. Lately, Fizz's performance in the mid lane has been fishy. Yep, he's pretty weak. He needs a surge in his ability power. However, we don't want this buff to make Fizz a go-to pick in the jungle. So we're slightly reducing his damage to monsters. Seastone Trident, which is his passive, I believe. Damage to monsters goes down by 15%, which is quite a lot. Playful Trickster, which is... I don't know what ability that is. I have no idea, but they're buffing it by 10%. So I guess that's fine. I really don't know which ability that is, but he's just gonna do more damage in the mid lane, which is okay, I guess. Lilia's probably getting buffed. She also feels quite weak. In early game jungle confrontations, this Fawn is too fragile and can't take the fights other junglers can. Yeah, she's just kind of weak right now. They're bolstering, we're bolstering her brawling ability and making her more formidable opponent when engaging with enemy champions in the jungle. She has higher attack damage from 58 to 62, so 4 more attack damage early game and 3 more armor. I suppose this could help her. Like, the armor buff is pretty nice and the little bit of attack damage buff is also pretty nice. Although, remember, Lilia doesn't really do a lot of damage with basic attacks anyways. This will help her a little bit, but meh. I think she's still gonna be kind of weak. Also, I want to remind you guys, I am doing a skin giveaway, giving away 3 skins this month. All you have to do to enter is put down a comment under the video. Also, if you're enjoying it, give the video a like. It really supports the channel with the YouTube algorithm and stuff. So it's a small effort, but it helps the channel a lot. Thank you so much. Next up we got, is that Nunu? Nunu. What is happening to Nunu? I'm gonna guess that they're gonna buff Tank Nunu, something like that. Let's see. We've missed seeing our favorite Yeti roaming through the jungle. And we think it's time we give Nunu and Willem a slight push to get them out of their icy hideaway and back onto the rift where they can school enemies on the true might of a well-thrown snowball. Base damage per snowball, which is the third ability, is getting buffed by 2, which will be pretty nice earlier on in the game. You'll feel the damage quite a lot. And they're reducing the ultimate cooldown by 5 seconds. Okay. That's not bad. You know what? That's not bad. I think this will help him decently. It's not gonna be like super big, super big buff, but it's just decent. Olaf, for some reason, Olaf feels weak. I don't know why. I thought after the Olaf change, he would be like completely broken, but he feels weak. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna get buffed. Let's see. Ever since Olaf's rework, he's been swinging his axes with Freljordian power. And while there's a lot of power behind those swings, it's still hard to master. Yeah. We're slightly reducing his damage, but making it easier for him to pursue enemies with his ultimate. Okay. So his shield gained from his second ability is gonna be less. It's more flat shield, but less missing health. So it's basically a bit of an easier to use ability in the latest. No, actually that doesn't really matter. It's just a nerf. It's just overall nerf. The ultimate initial duration is gonna be, instead of 3 seconds, 4 seconds, which helps a lot. But it does way less damage. It does less flat damage and it skills less as well. Oof. You know what? This is actually a nerf to Olaf. I feel like this is actually a pretty big nerf to Olaf. Damn, that's gonna hurt him quite a lot. Rammus is probably getting buffed, I guess. I think Rammus may get buffed. Rammus is rolling too fast across the map, making his early game ganks too efficient. Oh, so he's getting nerfed. We're reducing his ganking power, but still keeping his identity as a physical damage nemesis. Nemesis meaning like he's the complete counter to physical damage. Movement speed increased during his first ability is gonna be less. And it's a lot less, like 36 in the early game and 30 in the late game. This is really a lot, like significantly less movement speed. Base damage of, I don't know what that is, but they're reducing whatever base damage by quite a lot, by the way. 30 reduction. Whatever that is, this will hurt Rammus. This nerf will hurt Rammus quite a lot. I know the Swain change, so yeah, this is a sad one. What can I say? Since arriving on the Rift, the Noxian Grand General has shown how strong in multiple lanes. In multiple lanes. Not sure if that's proper English, but okay. We're nerfing Swain's damage and survivability so that other champions don't feel so helpless when they're up against his general and his ravens. His armor per level will be reduced by 0.5, which means at level 15 he'll have 7.5 less armor, which is quite significant. Damage of his, I believe the first ability, yes. Damage of each bolt after the first one. So like they're not reducing anything from the first bolt, but they're reducing like any hit from the first ability after the first one is going to be reduced by 5 flat and less scaling ability power. So he's going to do significantly less damage with his first ability, really significantly. His ultimate heal per second will be reduced by 0, 2.5, 5 respectively, and 3% less ability power scaling. Oof. Ouch. I think this kills Swain, not gonna lie. I think these changes kind of kill Swain. He's gonna be significantly weaker with these changes, so it is what it is. Swain is like not really gonna be strong anymore. Tristana is gonna get nerfed, I think. We want to bring Marksman back in line after our bigger adjustments in previous patches, which have left some stronger than others. So we're amplifying Tristana's traits as a scaling marksman? Oh, but we're also making her an easier target if she's left to lane alone. So she has less health at level 1 and any level. She basically has 40 less health. Her first ability gives more attack speed later on in the game. And her second ability has a higher cooldown early game and a lower cooldown when you max it. I would say this is overall a nerf to Tristana, by the way. This is definitely overall a nerf. But I feel like you're not going to feel this change as much. You're only going to feel the health. Like, you're definitely going to feel that she has 40 health less at level 1. Like, this one is actually... You'll feel it. Vayne is 1,000,000% getting buffed, by the way. Vayne loves to daringly dance on the edge of fights, so we're fine-tuning her skills to resonate with that high risk, high reward heroic gameplay she likes to lean on. In the early stages of the game, she should be honing her hunting skills and relying on her support rather than venturing out alone. Wait, what? She has less health early game? What the hell? From 570 to 540? You know how little health 540 is? That's like nothing. She also has less armor. What? They're nerfing Vayne? Her third ability does a little bit extra damage. What? Are you kidding me? Vayne is getting nerfed? I mean, she's already useless. Alright, I guess. Well, I guess Vayne is getting nerfed. Ziggs is probably getting a buff. Like, Ziggs is kind of weak right now. We wanted to land Ziggs a hand so that he could pack more of a punch, especially when he's on the defense. So we're giving him some more damage across the board. Exactly. Base damage on his short fuse, is that his first ability or his passive? I believe, let's look it up. Ziggs abilities. I believe this is his passive. Okay, it is his passive. His passive will do more damage, and you'll feel this a lot in the early game. It goes from 20 to 30 base damage early game, which is significant. Like, level 1, he'll do so much more damage now with that passive. It's very, very nice. His second ability has a lower cooldown in the earlier stages of the game, which is really nice, by the way, because the second ability of Ziggs, the common misconception is people think that this is, you know, a damaging ability, but this is actually a defensive ability. You can use it to jump away and push away enemies from you. And to have the cooldown be 3 seconds lower on level 1 is very significant, because you need to remember, Ziggs always upgrades Satchel's charge, which is the second ability, lastly, which means you're always going to have this 3 second less cooldown compared to the old Ziggs, which is amazing. Third ability, Explosive Minefield, the movement speed reduction duration goes from 1.5 to 2 seconds, so his third ability slows more now. Oh, I need to make a Ziggs video. Like, I need to make a Ziggs video for sure. This is pretty crazy, these buffs. They're definitely going to help Ziggs out a lot. Gameplay changes. Death Dance. We've seen fighters struggling during this update, so we're slightly increasing the sustainability of Death Dance to give a leg up to those bold enough to wield it, and provide them with more opportunities to shine in battle. Dance restored based on maximum health. So, if you kill an enemy, you'll restore 12% of your maximum health instead of 10%. It's just a buff to 2%. This is actually pretty nice. It's quite a nice buff to the item. It just provides you more healing, which is quite significant. Hullbreaker. I know they destroyed Hullbreaker, so let's see what they did to it. We want to make sure that Hullbreaker is a tactical choice for when you want to solo push a lane in your game. We're dialing down some of its early game dueling potency. Rest assured though, if you pick up Hullbreaker, you'll still pack a powerful push when left unchallenged on the Rift. Armor bonus for melee champions. You get less armor early game, the same armor late game. Magic resistance bonus for melee champions. You get less magic resistance early game and a lot less in the late game as well. Wow. Armor bonus for range champions is going to be reduced as well, and magic resist for range champions is going to be reduced as well. It's just cut in half, basically. Armor bonus for large minions near melee wielders is going to be nerfed early game. Magic resistance buff is going to be nerfed across the board. So basically, if you're playing Kill or like Orianna or something, if someone is split pushing with Hullbreaker, you can still quite easily shove the wave because they won't have a lot of magic resist anymore. And yeah, for the range champions, this is halved, of course. Okay, this is actually quite a significant nerf. Like, this is going to make split pushers a lot weaker right now. You'll still do the bonus damage to the turrets and everything like that. But in a 1v1 situation, you're not going to be as strong, especially early game. It makes it more of a later game focused item. Random's Omen. Random's Omen is a defensive item that's dedicated to reducing critical damage. Yes. We want to further amplify some of its unique strengths and increase its price. Ooh. It's going to be, instead of 2,800, 2,900 gold. Gives you 5 more armor. And you get more determination. Ooh. So you can stack it up more easily and heal up much more. This is actually pretty crazy. This is actually a significant buff to the item, Random's Omen. This makes it like such a good item against crit damage. Like, wow, this is actually big. This is big. Oof. Okay, this is going to be a much more built item for tanks then right now. Serpent Fang. In the current meta, a lot of items and skills have shielding effects, so improving the cost effectiveness of Serpent Fang so that it's a more favorable pickup in the early stages of the game and your builds. Oof! It has higher armor penetration from 12 to 15. Very significant buff right here. This will make it much stronger in the earlier game and a much better item to pick up. I remember Serpent Fang used to have 8 armor penetration. Now it has 15, which is crazy. This is a lot. Like, wow, makes it such a good item on Kha'Zix, on Jhin, and stuff like that. Yuma's Ghostblade. Yuma's Ghostblade is the starting item for a lot of champions, but it currently falls short when compared to some of the other items in the shop. We're buffing up its stats to give it a competitive edge, while ensuring players can still pick it up before the first team fight. It's going to be 3,000 gold instead of 2,900 gold, but you're getting 5 extra attack damage out of it, which is very cost efficient to get 5 attack damage for 100 gold. It's not very... Yeah, it is very... It is, because remember, the weapon blade costs 500 gold and gives you 12 attack damage. So you are getting 5 attack damage for 100 gold with Yuma's Ghostblade, which is of course very, very efficient. So it is overall definitely a buff to the item. Skins, Space Groove Lulu, no one cares about that. Space Groove Nunu, that's nice. Space Groove Nasus, oh, look at how cute he is. Oh, look at him. Look at how cute his Nasus is. Oh, baby. Oh, what a nice skin. I love it. Space Groove Blitzcrank. Ah, that's a nice skin as well. Hey. Ooh, Jhin is going to be free to play as well. So if you don't have him yet, play him then. So that is it about the changes. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next Wild Rift video.